Hey there, beautiful crafty friends. It's Kelly here with Kelly Crafts It All. I'm here today to hop on and do a little tutorial. I was on Pinterest and I was, trying to find some inspiration for some tutorials and whatnot. And I came across this really, really cute SVG file. And, not everybody has a Cricut. I didn't make the box with my Cricut because, I don't know, I just didn't do it because this is not a tutorial about Cricut or any cutting machines or any SVGs because we're not going to use any. This is going to be a craft it all by hand kind of thing, so that this is just something that everybody can do. So, but I will link the SVG in the description box below of where I got it from. And it was only like, well, at the time when I bought it the other day, it was only it was like $2, I think it was. And I still had a gift card from, I don't know when, but it was going to expire soon. So I had to use it up, and I think I had maybe like $5 on the card. So I went and bought a SVG file because I thought it was really cute. So the SVG file is similar to this. It's a box, and it has a little spout. But I thought, not everybody has cutting machines. Now, if you do and you want to get the SVG and you want to pay $2, go, that's up to you. But I thought we could all do this pretty much all by hand. So this is just a little box, and it measures about 4 inches by 3. So it would hold, quite a bit of goodies. Just for demonstration purposes, I have, just a few Hershey Kisses in here that will come out. But if you wanted to, you could just put some, with Easter coming up, you could put jelly beans in here, put some M&Ms in here, Skittles, whatever you would like to put in there. So this is what we're making today. So what will you need? You are going to need some cardstock. I'm using, just some designer series cardstock. They're designer series paper. So you're going to need that. And you also need just a little scrap piece of paper that is big enough for a 2-inch punch. If you have a 2-inch punch, or if you have a 2-inch die, you can use that as well. If you have a die cutting machine, or if you don't have that and you have a cutting machine but you don't want to get the SVG, get in there and cut yourself a 2-inch circle. So that's what we're going to need. And then I have a little template, and this is just made from some scrap chipboard, and it's just a 1-inch by 1-inch square. So you'll need a little template. I have my cutting mat here ready, and you're going to need your scoreboard and a paper trimmer. So if you have directional paper, you might want to pay attention to that. Mine's kind of ain't it, but isn't. It kind of goes all over, so I'm not really worried about how I cut it. And we're going to need to cut this at 9.5 by 7. So I'm going to cut this, I'm on my 11-inch side here, so I'm going to cut this at 9.5. And then I'm going to cut it at 7. And you can save these and put them in your stash. Okay, now that we have our 9.5 by 7-inch piece of paper cut, I'm going to get out our scoreboard. And we're going to score this at 1.5. On the 9.5-inch side, we're going to score at 1.5, 4.5, 6, and 9. We're going to rotate this so this is on our 7-inch side, and we're going to score at 1.5 inches. And then I'm just going to rotate it again to the other side at 7 inches and score again at 1.5. And that's all the scoring we're going to be doing. Now, since I have pattern paper and I have plain on this side, I'm going to use this side. And this is where you're going to need also a ruler or something to measure. And we're going to get out this 1 inch by 1 inch square. I have chipboard. It was just a scrap piece, and I just used my old cutter and cut out a piece of chipboard. You could, you know, double up a couple pieces of cardstock or something just to give you a little edge. Okay, so since I have this, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to find the top, what I want to be my top. So this looks pretty good for my top. And I'm going to fold back on that score line. On that top score line. And I am going to measure in to this. You have the 1/2 inch tab, you have a 3 inch block here, and a 1.5 inch block. So I'm coming in from the right hand side. If you're on the left hand side, it's going to be the 1.5 inch, 3 and 1.5. So either way, but it's this one right here. You know, when we go to fold this all up, you know, this is going to be your tab. It's going to glue to your box. So you need to make sure that you're in that 1.5 inch block. I'm going to find my pencil, and I'm going to measure down from the top. After you've folded this from the top, I'm going to measure down approximately about 1/2 inch or so, or even, or you know, however you, wherever you want. So I'm going to go in about 1/2 inch, like so. Now I'm just going to eyeball mine, and I find if I use a little piece of double-sided tape, or if you have like a glue dot or something, you can use that as well. And I'm just going to pop me on a little tape. Now this doesn't have to be perfect because we're just using this as our little template. And where I made that 1/2 inch mark, I'm just going to eyeball mine. Now if you want to measure, you can. And I'm just going to center that up on that 1/2 inch. Make sure I'm even on the sides here. I'm going to push that down. Now I'm going to open this up because you don't want to cut that. And I'm just going to make sure I'm even. I'm going to get my craft knife, and I'm just going to cut around that 1 inch square. If you want to draw a pencil line or make a 1 inch by 1 inch square, you can. And I'm going to do that just in case that would move. Now on this bottom one here, if you want to cut it completely out, you're more than welcome to. I like to just put a little score line right there. And just run it along that piece of chipboard. And I'm going to take my craft knife, and I'm just going to cut, I'm just going to cut 3 sides. I'm going to cut the left side, the top, and the right side. If you want to cut yours completely out, you're more than welcome. And this is just where I kind of take my time. Do a couple passes. And I'm on the top of it now. And now I'm on my right hand side. And now I can lift off that little template, and if that tape or whatever whatever you have there, it's not a big deal because we are going to fold this down. Now I like doing this because it just gave it a little extra reinforcement, and if your edges aren't completely straight or cut far enough, just use your craft knife and trim it up. So you should have something now that looks like this. Okay, so now we can go ahead and burnish, fold and burnish on our box. So I'm on that 1/2 inch tab. I'm going to burnish that a little bit. And I'm just, you know, on all my score lines, I'm just burnishing and folding. And then when you get to this little cut part, you just be a little more gentle. My top one was already folded, so like that. And you might want to fold it back the right way and burnish it. So we have this. And I'm going to do mine on the back side so that y'all could see. So you see we have this little rectangle right here. We're going to cut that out, and we're going to cut that one out. So get you some scissors. Or if you want to use your craft knife, you can. And what I do is I'll just cut straight up from the bottom here. And then you can angle this if you want, or if you want to cut this off straight and then angle, that's all up to you here. If you cut this off straight, and then you just cut yourself a little angle, you can do it that way. Or cut the angle and then cut straight up, like so. And now, where you have that 1.5 inch measurement for your box, you're just going to cut up to the score line. That's the only score line you have, so just cut up to that score line. Turn it around and do the same thing on the other side. And there we have our box. Now I haven't you know, cut in the edges. You can if you want. I would leave like one that wasn't, so that you had a top for it. So when you know, close this up, you know, you have, if you want to do these little ones, you can. But I just really didn't see the need to, so that when you close it up, you know, you've got it where it needs. So it'll look like, so it'll look like this. Then if you have anything hanging over, you can just go in with some scissors and trim that up. Okay, but don't do any gluing yet. Leave this flat, just set it aside. We'll work on that in just a moment. Now this is where you're going to need your little scrap piece that will fit a 2-inch punch, or if you have something that, you know, measures 2 inches and it's a circle and you want to freehand it, you can. So I'm just going to go in here and I'm just going to punch that out. And this, like I said, is a 2-inch punch. We're going to need our scoreboard again. And I'm going to lay this circle in the corner here, so it's going to measure 2 inches. And I'm going to get my styler for your score tool. Don't mind the dog buzz on here. We have dogs, and this scoreboard, sometimes it collects static, and every time Oliver has a little fur and he's starting to shed and getting his spring coat in. So, you know, it is what it is. So, alright, put this circle in the corner here. You have it up to your 2-inch side. At 1/2 inch, you're going to score down. And then you can, you know, score in here at 1.5. Or if you're not comfortable, just turn it around and, you know, score it that way. So now that we've got those 2 score lines like this, we're going to lay this in so these are straight across. I'm trying to get them, you know, as straight across as I can and get that in there. And I'm going to go down 1 1/4 and make a score line. It should look like this. Should have 2 score lines at the 1/2 inch and then 1 here at 1.5 or 1 1/4. Now we're going to get our scissors again. And when you look at this, you're going to see, if you fold it on the score lines, and you put this like this, and you just fold this one back, you'll see you have 2 little triangles. You're just going to cut up to that score line. I'm going to do the same thing here. And we're going to take those. Now it's going to kind of feel funny, did to me. And I'm just kind of pulling this on the back side, and I'm just kind of angling that a little bit. So I'm just going to put this at an angle so that that cut line is kind of with my fold line. I'm just going to bend that down. It doesn't have to be perfect, just enough to get a little angle on it. And I'm going to lay this down, maybe y'all can see a little better. And I'm just going to do that. And you can burnish that down if you'd like. Okay, so now we have this little flap right here. This is the little flap that's going to go inside of our box. So with that flap facing down towards the box, you're just going to set that down in there and match up that score line to the edge of your box. That's why I kind of like to fold that down, because it kind of gives me a little extra reinforcement. And just hold it and flip it over. And you can either run some glue here, or you can just use some double-sided tape. You know, whatever you have handy. I have some tape right here, so I'm going to just pop a few pieces on there. If it moves, don't worry about it. We can always reposition it. I'm just going to stick a little tape there. You might want to do that before you do that, but just, you know, showing you where it's going, so you kind of know where we're going with it. I'm going to take that tape backing off, and I'm going to do that again. I'm going to lay this so that that flap is going in on the right side of my box, and I'm going to push it down so that's even, that score line. And you can just gently flip it over and push that down. And now if this one down here is lifting and you need to put some glue or extra tape, you can. Mine's a little lifty right there, so I'm just gonna pop a little extra tape and burnish. Okay, so we have that part done. Now, you can, you know, check to see if your little spout works. You just push those inside and just lay it up against that square. And I'm laying mine on the back here, and I'm just gonna kind of pull them and push it out. Like so. And now my little flap works. These little angle things here, I'm going to make sure I have them, you know, out. And pushed, you know, so they're going the same way as my paper. And now that will open and catch there. So I'm going to put that back. And now, if you want to, I can just lay those flat. And you just fold your box in, you know, half. And run your piece of tape up the tab here. I'm just going to take that backing off. I'm just going to match that up. And there's your box. Now, before you put it all together, so before I close up my box and all, I'm going to go in here and just double check my little spout here. Make sure I have everything all tucked in. And everything's fitting. It should catch pretty good. I mean, it's not going to be, you know, like a salt shake, you know, like old, you know, salt boxes or anything. But, you know, it serves its purpose and it's cute. So now you can fold in the bottom, and here you're going to go once again, tape or glue, whatever makes you happy. You can glue all your flaps if you want, you don't have to. Me, I'm just going to run me a small piece of tape, and I'm going to close this up, line it up as best as I can. And now you would fill this up with, you know, fill it up with your goodies or whatever, and then you would, you know, tape that or glue it or whatever, and now you have your little spout. And now you can decorate. If you want to decorate your box, you can. I'm just going to use, I'm just going to tape mine shut. Because I can always put the candy in through the spout as well. But I don't have any. I don't have any M&Ms or anything. So I haven't gotten that far. I just seen this on Pinterest and I fell in love with it and I wanted one, and I said I'm gonna make one so I can maybe send one off to my grandson for Easter. I'll do it in a little more boyish paper. But now, you know, you can decorate this as much as, or as little as you want. Like I have this little flower here, maybe, and some leaves, and I could put that on there. And you could just, you know, use a dab of hot glue if you want. And I'm just putting a little dab on there. I'm not getting too carried away. And then maybe I want a bow on it. I'm just doing an old bunny ear bow. So you can, you know, like I said, you can decorate this up as much as you would like. So I have my little bow there. I want to even that up a little bit more. Oop. Oh, I didn't cut that very straight. Well, for pity's sake. I'll just cut that straight off as well. So then I have that going on, and I have a little hot glue here. And I don't know, just going to put this little bow on there, just to give you guys an idea of what you could do with it. See, there you have that. You have your little spout, and you can put, you know, whatever little candies you would like in there. M&M's, Skittles. Like I have Hershey Kisses in mine, and they fit pretty good. And it, you know, it pops in and it'll stay shut for you. So there you guys go. There's a quick, simple little box that reminds me of even back in the day. I know when I was a kid, the old soda boxes had these on there. Now they don't. Now they have them push in and pull up type things. But back in the day when I was a kid, I can remember there being a little metal spout on the soda boxes, baking soda boxes. But I thought these were really cute, and I wanted to find a way to give this, you know, let this be where everybody could make one. So there you guys go. I hope you guys enjoyed that tutorial, and I'll be back with more, hopefully, and find some more things and kind of put my own twist on them. And like I said, I will link that SVG file for you in the description box if you would like that. And that's it, guys. Thanks for coming on and watching me, and I hope you make yourself some of those. And I will see you guys in the next one. Remember, take care, stay safe, and remember, I love each and every one of you. Hit that like and subscribe button and share my video with your friends, family, and friends or family. It helps my channel to grow. And I will see you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.